Okay, chapter 1 review. Another name for plane M. We need to use 3 letters in the plane. So either plane, you could call it plane XYN. You could call it plane NYZ. So a combination of any of the 3 letters X, Y, Z, N. A combo of any 3 points with the word plane in front of them and no commas. Another name for the plane. Name a line in the plane. I could name in the plane, I can't use line H because it's going through the plane, not in it. So a line in the plane, I'm going to name it as line lowercase g, or I could name it as line, let's see, I could use XZ or ZX, or I could name it YZ, or ZY, or I could name it XY or YX. Any of those 4 are the reverse on the 3. A line intersecting the plane, now we're talking about line H. The other way you can name line H is by calling it line PY or YP. Or YP again, you could reverse those letters. Number 4, name 2 rays. 2 rays, let's see, I could name, I'm going to do number 4 over here. Ray YP. Ray YP. I couldn't go Y to anything down because there's no point down there. I could name Ray YZ. I could also name, go ahead, YX. Ray YX. Any of those 3. 2 of those 3. You need 2 of the 3. Now, opposite rays, number 5, opposite rays share a vertex, so opposite rays are going to be ray YX, and opposite rays come in pairs, ray YZ. So put the word and in there like we started doing with our pairs of angles. Name a point not in plane M, number 6. The only one that's not in there is P, because it's up on the line that's going through. Number 6, the only answer you could have for 6 is P. Now, when we go over to 7 and 8, they want us to find the length of X to Z. And in the case of number 7, it's the whole thing. In the case of number 8, it's a part. So for number 7, to get X to Z, I need to put together 17 and 24. What is that, 41? And then for X to Z in number 8, I need to take 38 minus the 27 I know and find out that that is what, 11? Yes. X to Z is 11. So 27 plus 11 would give us the whole thing 38. And don't forget, like, you can use a colored pencil or a highlighter when you go to do these. Number 9, plot 8, -4. 8, -4. Make sure you've got your coordinates labeled. B is at 3, -4. C is at 7, 1. And D is at 7 and -3. And then it goes on to say determine whether segment AB, so let me connect that, and CD are congruent. So I'm going to be looking for a couple things. A to B, when I count it, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units long. I'd like to see that. C to D, when I count it, is 1, 2, 3, 4 units long. I need to see that. These are not congruent. So I'm looking for the measures in the statement that they're not congruent. Now, if they were, you guys, I would expect to see this statement. If they were the same measure, I would expect to see this statement. Some people also like to do, just go and put, you could write it this way, since they aren't. That would be fine too, showing that they're not congruent. Move into number 10 on the next page. So 10 and 11 actually had 2 parts, and when I was checking in the homework, I didn't look too closely at this. 10 and 11 both want midpoint and distance. For number 10, the midpoint is going to come from the x values, -2 plus 3 divided by 2, midpoint M. That's going to be -1 over 2, so -1/2 for the x value. When I go do the y values, midpoint of the y's, 4 plus 9. So this is for my x midpoint. This is going to be for my y plus midpoint. 4 plus 9 divided by 2 is 13 over 2. That's going to give me 6.5. You could have it as negative 0.5 and 6.5. That'd be fine. So for 10, there's the midpoint. But you also have to do distance on number 10. Find the midpoint and the distance in these cases. So make sure that you've got your distance formula set up. I'm going to put my 2 points in there. S, negative 2, 4. Remember, one of the common mistakes I saw was people putting the points on top of each other here. Put in my T right here, and then I go through the how far apart process. What's up, Kaylee?
How'd you get negative 1/2?
It should be positive. You're right. That should be positive. My bad. Negative 2 plus 3, positive 1. Yeah, there you go. Now, sorry about that. Now I'm over here on my distance. Good eye. So distance, my points are ST. So from S to T, the distance is going to be 5 squared plus 5 squared, the sum of their squares, but I got to take the square root. That's 25 and 25. ST is the square root of 50, which is about 7 point something. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, 7.1. Yep, about 7.07 or 7.1. ST. So midpoint and distance on those. Let me go on to number 11. I'm going to do number 11 on a different piece of paper just so I can show all the process. Same thing, I got to do midpoint, got to do distance.
Can I see on the screen again? How's that picture?
In a minute. Number 11, midpoint. Looking for my X's and Y's. X midpoint, I'm going to go 6 plus 7 all over 2. 13 over 2. There's that 6.5 again. That's for my X's. Now, Y's midpoint, I'm going to do negative 3 plus negative 2 all over 2. Negative 5 over 2. That's going to be negative 2.5. So then my midpoint is 6.5 and negative 2.5. And then for distance on this one, XY distance, I'm looking for S to T. I'm going to bring my differences down here. S is 6, negative 3 next to each other in my little T chart. 7, negative 2. How far apart over here is 1? How far apart over here is 1? 1 squared plus 1 squared. S to T is the square root of 1 plus 1, or the square root of 2, which is about 1.14 if I remember right. No, 1.41. So there's distance on S to T. Number 12. In problem number 12, they give us the midpoint and one endpoint. Problem 12. So 12, they say that I've got J to K, and its midpoint is, where is it, 6, 3. And what I do know is J is 14.9. The question is, what's K? I'm missing the K, X, and Y. So this is a working backwards because it's going to be the X and Y of K that I have to solve for. So if I add together the X's, it's going to be 14. There's a little bit more to this. 14 plus a missing value. When I divide it by 2, I get 6. 14 plus some missing X. When I divide it by 2, I get 6. And so this is just me solving for X. You guys, I was trying to stay organized, but I'm realizing I got to show some math here, so that got a little bit difficult. 2 multiplied by 2 on both sides. Put a times 2 there so it doesn't look weird. 14 plus X equals 12. When I take 14 away from both sides, X is negative 2. So my missing X value for K is negative 2. And then I've got to go deal with the Y's. When I put together the 9 and the missing Y and average those, I get 3. So to undo divide by 2, I have to multiply both sides by 2. We've done these. You guys know that this is going to come at you for your test. 9 plus Y equals 6. When I take 9 away from both sides, I get Y is equal to negative 3. So then I go back up here. My missing K is -2, -3. Make sure it's clear where your missing K point is. A lot going on in that problem. Last but not least, for the crowded problems today, number 13. Problem 13. I'm not sure we've seen a problem like 13 before. They said the point M is the midpoint of segment AB, and then they give us some measures. So I think the easiest thing to do is something like this, and I'm recommending that this is exactly how you tackle it on your page. I've got a segment AB. It's got a midpoint M. Maybe I even do this to show that those are going to be congruent, since M's the midpoint. And what they're telling me is that 3x plus 8 is the A to M part, and M to B part is 6x minus 4. They want us to find the entire length. Now, since M is the midpoint, all we got to do to solve this is set these two equal to each other. Just set them equal to each other. Once I've set them equal to each other, there's 4 ways I could start solving, but I'm going to go minus 3x first. Coming across the equal sign to undo. 8 equals 3x minus 4. I'm going to add 4 to both sides. 12 is equal to 3x. I'm going to divide both sides by 3. X is equal to 4. Almost like an angle bisector problem that we had to do. Now you have to use your 4. Now we have to go back up and tell how long this whole thing is. 3 times 4 plus 8. That's going to be 20 from A to M. 6 times 4 minus 4, 24. That's going to be 20. So to finish this, what did they want? Find AB. AB is 20 plus 20, or 40. So we had to find the X, and then we had to